Okay, it's 5:30 and we have a quorum, so we'll call the meeting to order.
Jeff Stone,
Here.
Kevin Burke, Ryan Warren,
Here.
Wes Lucy, Robert Brunager,
Here.
Richard Goffman, and Randy Bang. Here. I had that wrong last name. I apologize for that.
Okay. Everybody see the minutes that Russ sent out from last meeting, which actually was last month? Okay.
So I make a motion that we accept the minutes?
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we've got a couple things to talk about tonight. First one is Kevin Patmore sent out about in the industrial park
Back over here,
that we want to,
Just for ease of reference, it's right off this corner, it's right there.
It's right over here.
6 acres, right there.
Okay.
6 acres right here off the curve.
right,
Santa Paws is right here, Maddox is right here. And then somebody, the town solicited bids for 6 acres right here.
yeah. And it's currently zoned, oh, turn on your mics, please.
Just hit
Yeah, just hit it.
it there.
It's currently zoned industrial.
Correct.
And the town has a couple of bids on it, one of which wants the town to say that they will rezone it either residential or commercial. Now, because it's industrial and it's got a commercial there already, I can see where we would be able to rezone it commercial, but not residential, because there's no residential around it. However, it still has to go through the public hearing on it, but we would be okay with, right now, with it being zoned commercial. So we'll pass that on to the town council, which we have 2 members here already. Okay. Now, that's my opinion. Anybody have a differing opinion?
So the business that's out there now, is it zoned commercial?
It's zoned industrial.
No, the Santa Paws was rezoned commercial.
Remember, we rezoned Santa Paws property commercial. And then they came back later and wanted to put a residence on there. So we sent them to the Board of Zoning Appeals. And in that meeting, they withdrew their request for variance. Is in that meeting, the Board of Zoning Appeals said that they could just inside of their building or add onto their existing building a break room that would suffice for what they wanted the residents for anyways. So, any other comments on that? So the next thing is why Patricia is here.
The other bid, there's 2 bids, right?
Okay,
The other bid he basically gave a synopsis of what he plans to do. And it included like a winery, tasting room, event center, and then he did have caretaker's cabin on there. my interpretation, you probably would have to do a PUD designation for the various types of use you want to put on there.
Right, because Boza already
Yeah.
said no for a residence there.
If they did a PUD, you could possibly put an ancillary use of a caretaker resident type. That's up to you. Obviously, you're all the ones who make the recommendation to the town council.
Yeah, that's an awful small piece of property to do a PUD
Yeah,
on.
really big.
You know, so personally, I would stay away from that. I would try and talk, if they indeed, you know, bought the property, I would tend to try and convince them to do what Santa Paws is doing.
Probably do a motion to the fact of what your recommendation is. That you do recommend, that you would recommend the commercial be, that you.
Yes.
If it came before this commission in the future, that you would give a favorable recommendation to rezone the property commercial, should be the motion to be made.
Okay. I make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay. So now, on to the sign ordinance. Now, Patricia, I listened to what you said at the town council meeting, and I have a few comments, just to. The very first thing you brought up was the name, 2A, a nameplate not exceeding 4 square feet. Not 4 feet by 5 foot.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Okay.
And then, but it could be 5 feet in height,
5 feet from the ground,
yeah.
the top of the sign. The sign could be 4 foot wide and 1 foot high, but the top of the sign is 5 foot from the ground.
But it doesn't clearly say that, does it? No.
It says 5 foot in height,
Right, so that means I could have a sign this high.
that high, but
It would have
it's
to be-
only 4 square
Right,
feet.
exactly. But I could still have a house number that's as tall as me,
Yeah,
because I'm 5'1".
and I would want that so that they could,
No,
Well, unless you made it,
I'd make it skinny,
you'd have to make it 6 inches by 5 feet.
Right. right, because it can't be more than 4.
Right.
Right. I read it, and it was a question I had,
Mhm.
because I don't understand this kind of jargon. So every question I asked was an explanation of jargon, so,
okay. Then, on C, the same thing, it's 12 square feet,
right.
but
But
limited
that's
to
a lot
5.
bigger, because that could be,
12 square feet, but it's still only 5 foot from the
I know.
ground.
I know, but it could be pretty wide then if it was 12 squares.
Right, it could be 12 foot wide and a 1 foot,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which would be a big sign to put on a house. Do you agree with that? That would be a big sign?
it would, but,
I know. I think that these two, A and C, were meant for very large homes. But,
or something that's set back a bit.
yeah, back off the
Mhm.
road. But like, if I put a sign like that on my, home, which is an average home, it would be atrocious,
Mhm.
So I don't know, I don't think there's a way to change that, because it's a limitation. And as intelligent people, we know we're not gonna put that size of sign on a modest house. But, just clarification.
Mm-hmm. And E, where it says permit within 30 days of the change in status, that's for an existing sign that went up
Right,
without being visible.
from the road.
Right.
Right,
Yes.
yes.
And if it became visible for whatever reason, like maybe they put another road through.
Right,
Then
that's
they,
how I understood it.
yeah, that's 30 days. It's not for new signs,
Right, exactly,
Okay.
I understand that.
okay? And about the sign at the corner where Casey's is, that's for,
Yeah,
do you realize that it is on property owned by Lake Rudolph?
right, okay, but it's
And
in
it-
town,
Pardon?
it's in Santa Claus.
Yes, but it's on, it was originally put on property. They bought the square that it's on and went to Boza and got a variance for it.
Okay, so is that variance more than 10 years old? Because according to this, it says that if it's 10 years old, then they need to go back to this and revisit how that sign.
The sign,
Grandfathered signs don't count anymore after 10 years.
when the, okay. When the 10 years was coming up,
Mhm.
it was like 4 months before the 10 years was up. I went to every single sign in this village, in this town, and found 3 that were grandfathered in that were gonna lose it.
That needed
And
to
it's the
change.
2 at the strip mall
Yes, yes,
and the one at the gas station. And they were all for height,
yes.
and they got variances.
So that sign has been there, I mean, I've lived here 35 years, that sign's been here longer.
After the 10 years was up for grandfathered. So that variance is good forever.
The variance was not only last 10 years. They were granted a variance for it one time. The non-conforming sign is like the billboard versus,
There's a billboard right outside of Pat Cook's Road,
yeah.
That
That's for the
billboard.
Christmas store.
that one needs
That
to
one
be,
technically is a violation right now.
Ah.
Because it's a grandfathered sign. They put it up right before the zoning ordinance, the sign ordinance was passed to prohibit billboards.
Okay,
And it technically is a violation right now.
and it
That's
also
what I-
is dilapidated on the back, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's odd. You need to,
Because there was another one that, remember the cemetery sign? Or
the cemetery
camp
sign,
The camp sign.
yes,
Yeah,
was big,
When
yeah.
they took
It-
it down,
it-
they put it back
they
up
took it
bigger.
down and they couldn't put it back up because they would be in violation of the zoning ordinance. Okay, so, okay. Specifically for the beauty shop sign.
Mhm.
That sign did not say anything that indicated it was temporary. Okay?
Exactly.
And she went on Facebook and posted, "How do you like my new sign?"
Yeah. Mhm.
Nothing
So she
about
advertised it.
not anything about it being temporary. She put up a sign without a sign permit,
Right,
okay? And that's why we told her she had to take it down.
yes. So do we have any kind of like warning window? Because honestly, including me, people are, and by ignorant, I don't mean stupid, unaware maybe is a better word, of even like, I can't put a little sign up. I mean, they truly are. Every town has sign ordinances. Mr. Patmore reminded me of that several times.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm, and you know, please excuse this, but if I just open my insurance company and I'm so excited about it, the first thing I'm gonna do is wanna put up a sign, right? And so, do we have any warning period? Because I believe she was warned and told to come and take it down immediately. And I don't disagree with that. What I disagree with is a way that we can make sure these people who come through our town, no other towns like this town, know that our businesses exist during the day. You know, just an 8 to 8 time period that people would know we that our businesses exist, because we don't have businesses like other towns. We don't have shops, we don't have that. We have conglomerates, where a whole bunch of businesses are in one place. And yeah, we have those little things, but you've driven through a town as a visitor, I know all of you have, and you don't go and read all those little pegs. You look for, where do we eat here? Well, there's Subway, where, people don't know we have 7 places to eat pizza within 15 minutes of here. So, which is our number one seller of pizza. But they also don't know we have a place that sells drinks. They don't know that we have beauty shops. And I know people, I check online, I plan my trips, but is there a way that this committee can think of letting our people advertise themselves at least during the hours that this town is so busy? And I would tell you May to October, but that's not the truth, you know that. People are coming in this town all year long because it's Santa Claus, Indiana. It's a whole different fish. So is there a way? Also, is there a way we can educate people about this? Because me, I've lived here 35 years, like I said, I read through it 10 times, and I'm intelligent enough that I could have figured it out, but there are things I didn't understand. So is there a way we can teach people? Put up a sign, nope, can't have that sign. We'd like to tell you how you can have that sign without having to immediately take down the sign, without feeling like they are in trouble. Is there a way we can educate people and also advertise the few businesses we have in this town during that window? Those are my two things. It's not even about what happened with people who I frequent. I frequent at least 5 businesses that have been called out by this board because of policy, because of rules, understood. But is there a way we can help those people be known in this town, at least daylight hours, with temporary advertisement? And is there a way, that's one, and is there a way that we can have a warning system and then teach them, tell them, have somebody who is a guide to, you have to fill out this permit, you're gonna have to take that sign down in 3 days if you don't get your permit filled out. This is what our ordinance says. Those are my 2 things.
Okay.
Okay?
First thing that comes to mind is the town website.
And thank goodness, it's getting changed and updated.
Okay.
Our town website is hard to read.
Mm-hmm.
This was on page 91 through 120 or 112,
Mm-hmm.
and then the coding in here is either at the beginning or the end of 181 pages. As someone who hasn't lived here, I've never read that thing. I've never read the 181 pages of our.
But if you're a business owner, one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to come to the town hall and ask, is this business permitted?
Right.
And where is it permitted?
Right.
And at that time, they should have some piece of paper or talk that says, and oh, by the way, we have a sign ordinance you need to read and understand.
So my question on that one is, as a business, I have business owners in my family, you don't have squat when you start a business. You have enough to start the business. And then you think, how can we advertise this business? It's more of a now next. So when I come and I ask you, here are the rules, here's what I need to do. I want to start my business, tell me what I have to do. I'm not even thinking about the fact that I'm going to have an open house or people aren't going to know I'm here. that's not an immediate thought. Plus, our businesses have moved. One of our businesses, Patriot Nutrition, is up on the hill behind the business.
Right.
And, you know, it's, honestly, if you consider a business income ownership, you don't think about everything, and then you get excited. And I feel like what we've done is gone, don't get excited. You know, don't get excited. When you get excited, then you buy signs. You try to get advertising things. So I think that there's a hole between I want to do this business and I'm excited. I really do. I think that there's a big hole there, a big gap. And when I come to you, if I have a lawyer and I've got my ducks in a row, then I may be ready to say, oh wait, there's signs, oh yes, and this, and this. But our small businesses, most of them don't have a lawyer unless they have to get a lawyer. You know, I know they have a lawyer for accounting, or they have a lawyer for liability, but they don't have a lawyer to go through the ordinances and see them all. So that, I really, what I'm asking is there a way that we could do you put up a sign, and then a 3-day waiver, and then have somebody discuss with them, you need to pay attention to the ordinances. We have those here. And help our people who own businesses. That's what I'm hopeful for, that we can help them want to stay. Instead of, you know, saying, no, you can't do that.
Okay, so how do you suggest we do that?
That's a good question. That's what I would love to work.
I mean, we've had this issue with numerous businesses in town.
Mm-hmm.
And technically, the town can fine them $100 per day for every day they.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And the town never has.
No, I know.
That is your learning period, because the town has never said, your sign has been up for 2 weeks in violation, we just found out about it, and you owe us $1,400 in fines.
Right.
Right.
And a lot of municipalities would put a fine on
Yes.
people who violate it. And that's what the town is doing, what you're asking. Whenever the town finds out
They made
about
them
it,
take it down immediately. All the signs that I'm talking about had to come down immediately.
but then they got to put them back up.
Which ones?
The,
Paint and posture.
yeah,
The
you know.
banner that.
The what?
The chiropractor back by the.
Who's your
Oh,
favorite
okay.
poster?
He
He put that up.
He
Patriot
put that-
Nutrition.
put that sign up illegally.
Yeah.
Right,
They all did.
exactly.
They all
Right.
We all did,
They
because
all-
it was against our rules.
And
all the town did was say you need to. put
And
a sign
we
up. And
gave
they all
him-
got a sign permit, they're all fine.
well, we told him that he couldn't even have his business there legally because of the zoning.
Exactly.
Okay, now, we gave him the option with your nephew, Todd, sitting here, listening to it and agreeing to it, that he would be a contractor to the golf course, so he could have his business there while they went and took care of becoming a PUD, and then he could put his sign up. So we gave him an option.
I know that.
Okay.
And Patriot Nutrition, that sign, they were allowed to put it up and down for a while?
No,
Okay, they had to take it down immediately.
yes.
Okay, so how do we help
If they would have,
if they would have known?
they're in a really odd situation in that they have no frontage
I know,
to the road
Advertise.
where the signs go.
Right,
They are on the backside of the building. Now, the building could allow them to put a sign up on the backside of the building because it's not visible.
right, but that doesn't help any visitors in this town, does it?
Exactly.
That's why
So-
I just wonder if there is, and I know we are not finding them, but people aren't asking, they're putting up signs, because honestly, it is not being rebellious, it's not being stupid, it's that they just don't know that this sign ordinance, hopefully after all this, they won't know. But, you know, if we could give a 3-day liaison discussion, some way to make people say, no, that we want your business here. Here's our solution to this, so people know you're here, and we're giving you 3 days to get the sign down and find out about our ordinances. And if you need to talk to somebody, we have somebody to talk to. That's the other problem, is somebody who can break it down. Now I know a lot more about this, so if they come to me, I'll tell them all the things, you know, I'll tell them all the things. But, that window with no fines, where you just have a window of time to find out, this is why that was wrong. This is why that was wrong. Because it's right here. It's in our ordinances. And every town has them. But giving them that pocket, and then us thinking of a way, what?
I mean, I think the beauty shop was a unique situation because the complaint was made the night that they had this meeting last month.
And then they were told to take down immediately.
But, I mean, ask Todd's the guy who is in charge of this. If you find out somebody's got a sign that was put up in violation, and it's a permissible sign, you're gonna tell them, you need to put in a sign permit, and then if it's a permissible sign, he's gonna say, and they never have to take the thing down anyway. I mean, what you're talking about is actually what's happening
So if,
with 99% of the signs.
so if they had come in, they were told to take it down the next day. If they had come in, they could put it back up the next day? Because it has to get approved, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was up for a couple more days.
It has to be approved by him. He normally signs off on all, if it's a permissible sign, if it meets all the requirements of the sign ordinance, these guys never deal with it, he does. He
Right.
just
Okay,
approves it.
every time I ask this question, I presented this to the town board, and they said, that's not our problem, that's their problem. And now it's Todd's
He's
problem.
the zoning
Okay.
administrator, just like plans for a house. Anything, he's the zoning.
Here's how it works.
Dave the Barrel.
When do you all ever see zoning plans for an improvement location for an entire house? You don't?
No,
They
No.
never see it.
Here- yeah.
You're great, that's a great answer,
These
but
guys
that's not,
don't deal with any of that.
these aren't the answers I've been given.
No.
These are
Okay.
not the answers I've been given.
This is how it works.
Okay,
The Advisory Planning Commission makes changes to the zoning ordinance, proposed changes,
proposed, yeah.
okay? We have a public hearing on it. And from there, we decide whether we recommend it to the town council to approve it, or we say, well, we're not gonna recommend it.
Favorable, unfavorable.
Right. Now, it depends on where the request came to make changes. If we just decided on our own, we could just say, no, after the public hearing, we decided and just squash it.
Yeah,
If the town council says, we want you to make changes, and we come up with changes and have the public hearing, then we have to
and that's what I thought.
give
That's what
the,
I thought. I thought it was presented to the town council. Town council is the one who,
approves it.
yes.
Unless-
But I was told to come here.
Unless the town council doesn't do anything with it for,
Right.
what, 60 days?
Right.
And then our recommendation holds,
Right,
and it becomes ordinance,
understood.
okay?
I'm totally understood. Do you have a recommendation? I would really like, I'd like to say this for the record. I'm here as a citizen, not as a town council member. It is wrong for 3 town council members to be together, but I've been a citizen here for a long.
There's only 2
No, I
here.
know that. That other one could be here, because I have been a citizen of this town for 35 years. I am not saying this as anything else, but a citizen who's concerned about businesses in my town, okay? Just so
Okay.
you know, okay? I'm not here under that guise. But I think that we need to see the different fish that we are. You know, Carmel does not have 1 million visitors go through their little tiny one stoplight town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The little town outside of Indiana Beach does.
Okay, so Indiana Beach though is, I can't even compare us to that because they have some older buildings, that's a lot older place than here.
Right.
We have conglomerate buildings, right? We have some buildings that are
Right.
separate.
And we also have a lot of open land with a nice road through it
We know,
that people
we
can,
can't free up.
that people can buy and put buildings on.
We can't free it up. We've tried. So, anyway, and I would love
To
that.
answer your first concern, I think what you're asking actually is what happens. If people just contact Todd, or if Todd finds out there's a sign that's put up illegally, he'll typically tell them, take it down, or get a sign permit, and then what? If they don't for a few days, then you'll send them a notice that says,
Which is great.
if you don't do it within 10 days, then I'm gonna start finding you.
Listen, I
problem
don't
is-
recall saying in any time, immediately. I just say your sign is in violation.
I understand that they were told to take it down.
Yes, I told them that they would take it down now. It had already been up for over a week.
It was only up since Saturday, but yes,
Well-
you're right, 2 days, yeah.
And so they had time,
Right,
and Todd went to talk to them, not the same day that the meeting was, and
it is
So-
dated the same day that Todd talked to them.
okay.
It was Monday, and he said, we're having a meeting today, and,
But they still had, you know,
because I've seen all that.
and they asked, well, what about the weather? And I says, I'm not gonna have you take it down when
During
it's
the
pouring
weather,
down
right.
rain. So, okay, so we gave them a window there.
Mhm.
And so,
And what suggestions do you have for them to advertise their business in that location?
well, here's,
See,
we're gonna get into, because Mr. Patmore and I have different interpretations of this,
right, and
but-
we've talked about that too.
but
Yeah. So I
It's-
don't expect an answer from you.
I
want you
understand,
just to think
I
about it.
understand. And you had mentioned the building across the street, Santa's Place, that has the for rent sign. And what are they gonna, the business that would like to go in there, what are they going to do?
How are they gonna advertise? Yeah,
They've got 2 signs
right.
that they can put up on
No,
there.
it's this building, it's the ortho building.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
everything's behind me.
Yes, but I know that, but the signs are so, okay, so if you're one of those signs, it's, I know.
You chose that building.
But
You
what
see where
building
the
is-
signs
What
are?
other choice do they have? What other choice?
Build their own.
Maybe you make the names on, I mean, they chose how big to put the name slots on there.
Right.
Yeah, but that's not, we're not promoting business by using that as a reason. We are, you know, our town, you know, needs stuff. We need stuff. We need businesses. I've tried and tried to get some of the land that's locked to not be locked. We need businesses, and if we don't let them advertise, they will leave, or they won't be in business. And we need more. We need more. But when you have tiny, tiny signs, and you have people who are all hyped up about Holiday World, which they should be, we're not letting them let people know they're there. So I do not, from this board, expect answers. I expect thoughts. I just want you to think, how can we invite these businesses to let people know they exist? How can we make a change, you know, a variance, so that they can advertise themselves, so they can say we exist, we are here, come see us. Because if I do my town scope, I don't look for Patriot Nutrition, I don't look for that. I look for grocery stores, restaurants, you know, and I get my whole itinerary plan, but I don't look for Patriot Nutrition, but I do look for little shops to buy stuff in. and our places aren't little shops to buy stuff in other than the Christmas store. So how do we help them? That's my big question. How do we help them? How can we make some kind of variance that exists for the population who comes into this town to know they are there? I truly feel like some people who live here have no idea that we have a chiropractor by the golf course, a Patriot Nutrition, even beauty shops. They'll know about one, but they won't know about the other. I feel like from the people I talk to in the community, people who live here don't even know, which is kind of, get out and find out. But,
Yeah, but they
well, I
have,
guess Evergreen is one of those places where you get stuff too.
Mhm.
That's another place. But, how can we, as a town, help our people advertise?
yeah,
How can we do that?
without
Violating.
without looking like the town outside of Dollywood.
No, exactly. I don't want any of that. I've been driving through a lot of towns and paying close attention to it now. And I think some towns, we do not want to, we are a pretty town. We are a very pretty town. We want to stay that way. We don't want to look like Dollywood.
Mhm.
I would really like it if we would allow people to say, proud vet. That's a big deal to me. But if you put proud vet in your yard, then can somebody else put something else?
Mhm.
Right. And so,
The town
see what I
can't-
mean?
The town can't restrict that, that's the First Amendment.
Proud vet, but that's
If you
a,
allow that, though, you have a
I know.
sign that says,
exactly.
I hate
I know,
immigrants.
yeah, whatever, I know. So, I just have so much trouble with us, mostly with the people who have businesses getting, not being able to say, I'm here. Those other signs, I've said this a million times, I do not know what to do about Back the Blue and vet, because, I think every vet I meet, it's important to me. And so is Back the Blue, I just wish that there was a way that we could, but we can't limit them, because they can say anything on those little signs, anything. My sign would say, all welcome, and so, we can't do that, but if we could think about the business, how can we make these businesses feel wanted and be seen? That's my whole gist of this. I'm glad I understand this better, because I didn't understand it at all, and I read through it.
Mhm.
But how can we help them be seen?
Okay.
And pondering is good. Pondering is good.
Now, these two handouts that we have, one is just the sign ordinance from our zoning ordinance, and the other smaller one is what is given to people when they come in for a location permit, correct? Sign permit,
Yeah, they're totally different.
okay.
So when they come in, do they receive this ordinance
They do.
2011-03?
Do they get it as soon as they
So if
start a business?
if I'm an inquiring business owner, and I'm coming to your community, generally speaking, when I do this, I go to the town hall first, because I want to know the rules, whether I'm developing an apartment house or whatever, because every community does have rules. So if I come to you, and this is what you're gonna handle.
Right, so if someone comes into my office and wants to inquire about putting the sign up for their business or for whatever, they are given the sign application, and they are given a copy of this ordinance. That's why I included this for y'all to see what we actually hand out, with the sign application.
But you get that whenever you say, I'm gonna open a business here?
I don't think since I've been clerk treasurer, we've ever had them come and actually say, I'm here to open a business. I mean, usually, the only time someone comes in is they know they need a sign, someone's obviously told them. So they come in specifically for, I'm needing to put up a sign, or I wanna redo most of the time it's, I wanna redo the sign I currently have. Am
It's
I
more of
gonna
an
need-
inquiry.
Right, it's more of an inquiry directly related to a signage.
Now, Jane, let me ask you this, that the permit sheet that you pass out is just one half sheet of information, is it not?
Yeah, it's
A
about,
very small bit of information that they have to fill out.
right, it's I didn't include it, I guess, I can go grab it if you want me to.
Well, I mean,
Do you guys want me to
I
grab
would
the
like to
sign
see it.
application?
I'd like to see it, because I want to see if I understand it,
Okay, I can go grab
because
the
I've
sign
never seen it
Okay.
before.
well, the reason I bring that up is because at the town hall meeting, it was being, portrayed as some real difficult thing to fill out.
Oh, that was the,
The sign.
Does it,
The
ex-
sign
does it
application.
explain
Bozo
all
one?
these rules?
No,
Because then when you do that, don't you have to pay $50 and you don't get it back if you get denied?
well, it,
true.
Well, that's
Yeah.
partly that is, I would think an administrative fee, it takes time for her. to go through it.
Exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
So I mean,
Just asking questions.
no, that's kind of my answer, I mean, I'm just.
That's a good answer.
generally,
Administrative fees.
another thing that happens a lot of times is somebody will send me a picture. I wanna see a picture of what they're trying to do,
Mhm.
the details of it, and they'll send that, and if I feel like it, it's no big deal, it's good, then I just go ahead and pass it, generally, it seems like. Doesn't happen very often. Normally, I'll pass it by Jeff, I'll send him a picture of it, what do you think? And that's generally how it normally goes. Whether or not it should come before the board.
It's more of a
It
consultation.
shouldn't come before this board ever. Especially you rule, and you say, yes, it meets the terms of the ordinance, or no, it doesn't, and if you say, no, it doesn't, and they think, yes, it does, then they can go to Bozeman.
Mhm.
An appeal of a decision by Todd goes to Bozeman, not to these guys.
Right.
Now, a lot of people will come to this board and say, I'm saying I can't do this, how can we work this out? I mean, this board typically doesn't work with people who want to do something to help them find the solution.
So is it correct for Todd to call Jeff and make sure?
Sure, he's the president.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
More of a consultation.
Yes, a consultation.
Right.
And sometimes they'll call me about that.
okay. Okay.
If there's a question, he'll call Jeff, or sometimes Jeff will call me, or he'll send me an email, and
Right.
I'll tell him what the ordinance says.
Mm-hmm.
I know one time they had talked about a temporary sign, like putting a 30-day temporary sign or something like that.
Like an open house sign or
Like an
something
open
like
house
that.
sign, I guess
And I think
Okay.
that is, people don't realize that has to have a permit, to have the open house sign. I just think people don't understand. I'm not saying that the rules aren't clear, I'm saying that people just don't understand, and is there a way we can educate people about that? And also, when they do this comparison thing, which was a huge mistake, but when they do the comparison thing, why do the gas stations and the Dollar General, why are they allowed to put banner signs up? Why are they and we are not? Because that'll be the next conversation. And you guys get to decide that. But asking that question, what answer do you give? What answer do you give to that? Why are they allowed to put banner signs and we're not?
There's been times that if I know it's well within their property, there are things that, and I'm rusty on it, I don't know for sure, but I generally, number one, if nobody complains about certain things, then I don't even
No, it is going
get too
on.
concerned about it.
Mhm.
But when I do get a complaint, there again, I'm asking for help.
But we do not have a signed complaint about that sign. We do not have a signed complaint. It was just somebody calling on the phone and complaining. That kind of bugs me. And I know.
On which one?
On, the sign on the building.
Okay.
Yeah, and a couple others that have happened recently that I don't know that you've even dealt with, but no sign complaint.
You
If
know-
I see a sign that does not comply,
You're on this committee.
yes, then I tell
Right.
Scott.
That's your job on this, and I 100%
Right.
agree with you, Jeff.
And-
100%. But,
And I saw the sign.
well, someone else complained. We know that.
Right,
Yes, and that person needed to do a signed complaint. That is being discussed, I know at the town board it's being discussed. I know that the town board is discussing that. But, there are situations sometimes where people decide to complain about something because they're not happy.
right. And that happened back in Holiday Village, that, about a junk car.
Yeah,
And the person making the complaint complained to somebody else because they didn't want to do it. And that person came to me, and I told them they have to come in and do a signed
Make a
complaint, and they did.
yeah, which is good. That's
So,
what we need. We need
and-
that. Were you gonna say add something, Mr.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tricia, I've been on both boards, and I think we're way too tight a lot of times, these signs. Cause like you, I know a lot of people bitch, well, I know I can name about 10 signs we've turned down, and a lot of discussion, why? Well, I try to explain, this is wrong, wasn't on their property or all that. It's always hard to find an excuse a lot of times, why exactly we turned that sign down.
Yes, and we've talked about that quite a bit. I've talked to,
The whole point of zoning is you have to draw a line.
yes,
I
some,
mean, is there anything magical about having, on an office park, you can put a 50 square foot sign? No. You can allow 100, you can put a sign of any size if you want to. But somewhere the town council had to draw the line somewhere.
there have to be limitations.
Mhm.
I
It's like a
understand.
setback on a house.
I understand
Why do you
that.
make it, why do you make a side yard setback 15 feet on a
Yes.
certain type of? There's nothing natural about being 15 feet, it could be 10 feet, it could be 20 feet, but that's, the town draws a line somewhere. It says,
Well-
this is going to be the standard setback, and if you're building a piece of property, you can't, that's what variances are for. Is if you can't meet the terms of the ordinance, then you can come to the BOSA and ask for a variance on it. But lines have to be drawn somewhere.
And I agree. I was a teacher for 32 years. Lots of lines were drawn.
And if they
In
want
my
to increase,
teaching.
if they want to increase the sign of their office park sign, then they can go and ask for a BOSA, where they can put placards, instead of being 6 inches, they can make 12 inches. But then they're not gonna be able to see the building, they're gonna have a big office park sign.
Right.
about it. So
I just
I
think
mean, that's-
educating our people.
That's
Is
the whole
important.
point of it, is that's the only reason that they got the sign that size, is because that's what the ordinance says, and they didn't want to ask for variance, like the Kizzy signs, and the ones in front of impressions, those little strips.
Yeah, the little
The only
strips.
reason is, they didn't want to come in, they wanted to put a 50 square foot sign up, because that's what the ordinance says, but they could have come and asked for, well, the signs are too small for people to see as they're driving by, so we're gonna put a 75 square foot sign up.
Right.
And they could have made their signs bigger, but they chose not to.
Now, there's another issue with that, and that's investment. You have to think, are you gonna
Right.
invest
Yeah.
that much money?
But that's their choice, I mean, that's.
Right. And I do believe in 2011 that, I was in charge of all kinds of things with school, and banners really weren't a thing. In 2011 even, banners weren't a thing. Well, now banners are an answer to easy advertising, much cheaper advertising. So is there a way, just think about it, that we can let these people put up some sort of banner, be it within our rules, but some sort of banner during the 8-hour, or the 12 hours that we get people running through this town to say, hey, I'm here, hey, I'm here. Without it can't be flashing lights, because that's in the rules. But, some kind of banner that says, we exist, we're here, we can be used.
Yeah, for
And
30
I do
days.
think that it's great I think that the thing that happened was with the recent sign issue, was that it was up over the weekend. Monday, somebody made a complaint in the community. They were told immediately to come to this meeting. They were told it needs to come down now. you know, and so now to me means now. And you said weather, of course,
Mhm.
that's understandable. And they felt like they couldn't even say, hey, we're here. And I want a reason, not a reason, I want a way that they can say, hey, we're here. You know?
We told them, you know, it didn't say, the sign didn't say, hey, we moved.
Right.
We're here now.
Yeah.
Okay, they could have put up a banner for that.
Right, but would it have been taken down because it was a
No.
banner, a
30
freestanding
days.
banner?
30, they would have had 30 days.
As-
An announcement.
Not without a permit though.
Not a temporary banner for 30 days.
You don't need a permit for that.
For a temporary banner for 30 days.
No.
Right,
Banners, streamers, pennants, and other similar objects of a temporary nature to promote grand opening to other special events conducted upon the premises upon which such objects are located or permitted, provided no such objects are displayed on the lot more than 30 days of any calendar year.
So how can you prove that that sign wasn't an open house sign?
it didn't say that.
Didn't
It,
advertise their company, their business.
It didn't advertise that, hey, we're here as such.
I know.
right, nothing about it indicated it was a temporary sign.
You can have the name of the business on there.
I know that. I know that, but they have no other signage that said the name of their business. So to me, that's a sign that says, hey, we're here. It's the only sign they had that said, this is where we are.
That may be what you feel, but that's not what the ordinance
They
says.
got an office park sign right out in front.
But their name wasn't on it at first.
That's because their landlord hasn't put it on there yet,
That's,
But don't we then want to advertise them? Don't we want people to know, hey, until your landlord puts it on, nobody cares that you're there? Think about that for a second. Do we want to punish them because their landlord won't put their sign up? I mean,
do we want to tell the landlord, you have to put the sign up immediately with that they move in?
no, I agree
Okay.
with you. No,
It's,
but
it's the same thing.
it isn't,
Wh-
because
it
the
is.
business is not getting advertised.
That's between them and their landlord.
That's because of the landlord. That is between them and the landlord. Just like putting the sign on the building
Was
With-
between them and the landlord.
without the permit of the
But that has
permission
nothing
of,
to do with us.
that has nothing to do
That's
with
right.
us.
That's right. I just think,
Yeah, because even though the town says you can have, I mean, a landlord could, the shopping center could tell all these businesses that we don't want signs up on the.
right,
Right.
they can easily say
And
that.
the town can't go to them and force them to put a damn sign.
No,
I 100% agree. But no one would have known that they were there until, and I'm
It-
not
it-
trying to talk about just one face. I'm
that's
talking
not
about
our
all.
problem, though.
It is. 'cause
It
we're the
isn't.
town.
It isn't. Because they have a small business administration that helps small businesses with things like this. We're not the small business
We
administration.
serve the public. Is that not right?
Yes.
Doesn't this town serve the public? And if I run a business here, I would hope that my town would want to promote that business and not say, not my problem.
What if the landlord never will put their sign up?
That's right. What if they won't?
This is the town have to allow them to have a freestanding sign of their own, so we have 10 freestanding signs.
Intermediate sign, like a 30-day announcement sign, hey, we're here.
But if they got a 5-year.
Yeah, but that's not what they
This
put
is
up.
why I want the 8 to 8 thought. I want you to think about, what can people put only at businesses within their realm? Because like, okay, there's a business out of town. Their signs were all taken down in town because they were illegal. I 100% agree with that. I totally do, and I have connections to that business that's out of town, that put little signs up everywhere. I agree, I don't want those little signs everywhere, but these businesses are right here. How can we help them be known? How can we help them be known? I believe that is our responsibility.
And that's why we have the temporary signs in our ordinance.
The open house kind of signs.
Or the,
Temporary.
we're open. we're here now, we moved,
Right,
all of the things,
I know.
but
Age
you
and
don't
nutrition
just put, you just don't put a sign up with your name on it.
No, I agree.
That's not
It
a
was
temporary
mistake.
sign.
It was a mistake. I 100% agree with that. But I think that that situation was way too, like, sign down, you know what I mean? It was too fast. But how are we, decide on that? How are you gonna help them, you know? Because after it's an open house, after we're here now, after that, then how do the people from Tennessee who just came in and bought stuff at the farmer's market over here, how do they know that they're there? How do they know that this is their first year here?
It's called pre-planning on the part of the business. It's not, I agree with Jeff, it's not the responsibility of any board to dictate and present them with an advertising plan. You know, they need to present themselves with a business plan when they talk to the Small Business Administration, things like this. I actually just did one of these myself, just out of curiosity with all this. And I went to a different county and walked in, said, this is, first thing they told me is, where's your business plan? So luckily, I had one prepared and pertained to advertising. So they actually was going to give me a $5,000 allocation towards advertising. You never have to pay it back, to promote the tourism and the establishment of business within the community. Very lucrative, I thought. But, you know, that might be something that the town's council or somebody, you know, my group would consider, because that was the only thing that, when the question was presented, you gotta make, this was all kind of in the back wings of all this. What would I need to do to promote a business in your community, to make it successful?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of the things that was presented through this board,
Mm-hmm.
that I could approach this board.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was a $5,000 advertising allocation that was available. Might be an alternative. Because then they're, you know, they could advertise in the paper, they could maybe approach the marquee owner of the building and say, hey, how much is this little 2x2 sign? And they have the money to do it, because a lot of times they go in undercapitalized, and that's one of the biggest downfalls.
That's a great idea.
One of the questions I do have is that, I know by reading just through this briefly, there was a limitation on the size of signs that you can put on the building based on the square feet.
Mhm.
Yeah, based upon
Right.
3 feet per linear foot of frontage.
Curiosity question down here on the tourism building down here, the mural on the side.
The mural is an artwork. It's
So
not
if
a
this
sign.
same business would create artwork, it would pass? You just said it's artwork. It's still advertisement. I don't get me wrong here, I'm 100%, I love it.
It's not advertising, actually, it would be a billboard because it doesn't advertise the visitors bureau. It's, what does it say on it?
It advertises the county.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it says Santa Claus Lincoln. That's what it
so
says.
technically, it's illegal to make them pay over it. Because it's a billboard, actually, I guess. I mean, it's
See, I don't remember, and I would think that
It's not
sometimes,
advertising a business, though, it's advertising.
what's advertising county?
It's
Yeah.
advertising.
It's not
That's
advertising.
not, my question with this here was, is that,
If it's advertising a business.
did they get some kind of building,
No.
Todd, did they get a permit?
Before my time, I have.
No, it's
What-
just,
They just painted the side of the building.
the old, the Fifth Third Bank building down here.
The last 2
I
months.
haven't seen it.
They painted a mural.
Yeah.
Are you making a complaint?
It's-
Is that a sign when you paint a building? I mean,
It's,
if you're advertising.
it's not advertising a business,
Yeah.
so it is not a sign. It is a piece of art,
Plus they're government bodies, so
you know,
Yeah, it's government based,
but
they're, yeah.
But if they would make their sign for the boutique,
it can't have their, name on it. And it can't have
a phone number or anything like that.
any of their products on it. So then it would just be art. But they still have the problem of, if it's not painted directly onto the building, then it isn't, it becomes a sign or a billboard.
Well, when you buy art, it's in a frame, a lot of times.
Yeah, but
I mean, you're saying it's art.
it's
Almost
a
close
mural.
to that.
A mural is art, okay? And,
I'm just trying to answer, you know, some of
Right.
But if they made it a mural that it advertised their business, then it would become a sign.
right,
In other words,
mm-hmm,
if the car wash paints the whole side of that building, Santa Claus car wash and stuff, then it becomes a sign.
right.
But they put a car up there with bubbles and things like this here, that'd be fine.
And no, because it's part of their business. And I did a little bit of research on that, and the courts, not here, but courts did rule it as a sign, a mural that was painted, because it had some of the product that was being sold at that place.
And I love it, don't get me wrong, I mean, it's, I just have to come up with it here.
No, exactly. I mean, it's good to clarify that, to know that if it advertises the place, if it has products that are from the place, then it becomes signage.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is,
A neutral.
yeah, a neutral entity,
Art.
then it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might be a nice, is there a way to add that to the ordinance?
I don't think we need
Back
to.
to the definition.
Because I think there's,
2011.
there could be
But they still-
plans for other same type of murals. You know what I mean? Because we have some buildings where we could do that.
Like if they took the grocery store, I have both sides of that and painted it.
Yeah, that's a really good, that's a potential project, that they're gonna do the side of the grocery store, and it would be the same as the visitor center. It would not advertise the grocery store whatsoever. It would advertise the town and be art that, you know, is town oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of communities are going that, you know, like Jasper, for example, they have probably 4 or 5 of them.
And it's gorgeous, it brightens up the town.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder if we should add something about that,
We'll think about
yeah,
it.
will you look into that?
Yeah.
And then a way that these towns can put a little flat, not towns, these businesses can put some kind of little thing up that says, you people who are in our town, here we are. I just want you to consider that. Consider how we could do that.
How to make our residents aware of these businesses?
And not just them, those million folk who come through this town every year, because, you know, we don't look like we have that much to offer here. We don't look like it, but we do. We have a whole bunch to offer, but we don't look like it because businesses are hidden within nooks and crannies. So, that's my
Okay.
plea is that, please.
Yep, we will take it under consideration and think
I
about
appreciate
it.
that.
And it'll be a while.
It's government.
Now, there's nothing
That's
stopping the owner from standing outside holding a sign, right?
Pardon?
Oh,
No.
Right?
It says it's
I didn't see nothing in it.
Yeah, they could hire somebody, they could.
yeah, they could have a
What if
person
sign
standing
wavers?
outside all day.
Like they do in the cities?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing
No,
stopping
nothing
from,
in the sign ordinance about
Hiring
that.
a kid to do that,
yeah, there's
yeah.
nothing stopping them
Yeah,
from
they can
wrapping their
hire a kid.
vehicles, right? They can wrap their vehicles, park it out front,
Mhm.
Yeah,
right? I mean, you gotta get creative. I mean,
Right.
I don't see anything with those.
They-
Santa Claus, I mean, Jasper has a restriction, if you have, I forgot how one, I mean, ours is very simple
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
compared to a lot of municipalities. Jasper's, they have no restriction on if your vehicles have something on the side of it.
Yes,
I don't think you can park in the same parking spot like more than so many days or something.
Yeah,
it has to be registered, has to be registered and plated, licensed or insured. And
Right.
And I think
It
there's a
has to
sign,
be
I think
old.
there's a size limitation. I mean, you can't put a whole wrap on your back. There's some,
You
I
can't wrap a
just
semi.
glanced
Right.
at it, it was like.
you can wrap the
They actually
vehicle
have
as long as it
restrictions on-
moves,
It has to be mobile.
and it's legal,
Uh,
like
yes,
road
it has-
legal.
There's a barbecue place in Evansville, I see that has one of them big military vehicles.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
All
The
wrapped.
barbecue place,
Yeah.
and they never moved
They've
that.
never moved it.
Nope,
I mean,
that's our
But I think
crazy.
you look
They
at
might
it.
have.
if they had one that they drove every day and it was moved every day, they drove
Yes,
to work.
but that one, they stay late there, right?
They
It
might
just
have got a
stays.
marriage, or it might be permissible under Evansville.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
No,
knows?
I'm just saying ours is very liberal as far as permitting.
Right.
Mhm.
Signage, we allow signs 3 times the size of Casper's on our commercial building.
Yeah.
For the facade sign.
Oh.
So they
I
could
just
do
wanna
that.
help our businesses easily.
I understand that.
And I wanted to understand
But
this
wait a
tonight.
minute, I don't see no.
I couldn't understand. I do not find this application to be difficult. I just know that, like you've said, you give them that warning. But I think that that felt real immediate to that one business. It was like, you're in trouble, get to the meeting, take it down. You know what I mean?
We did the
And-
same thing for
I know.
other businesses.
I know, but I think that's how it felt, and I don't want our businesses to feel like we're slapping them in the hand, you know, like we're going, no. I want them to feel like, oh crud, I screwed up. I think that's such a better, I know when I mess up, and I admit it quickly, but getting punished is different than getting, and I think they felt punished.
I think what I was trying to do was to help them.
I know, I don't
In
think
this
that's
way,
how they.
I could have waited till Tuesday and said, hey, there is a meeting next month, but you will need to take it down.
Yes,
But it just so happened that I
It was
had
that
to
night.
complain on Monday. I wanted to help them with all the information they could get today.
Yes.
Today's the day, you can get all the information you need. And maybe that was the wrong thing to do, I don't know.
I think telling them about it was excellent. They needed to know about it immediately. But I think because of the timing of the meeting, I do. I don't think it was you guys trying to be mean. I think it was the timing of the meeting was like, holy crap, we have to go to the meeting tonight. You know, that's how,
I get it.
yes. I don't think, you know, but I just want answers for our businesses so they can be seen. That's all. How can they be seen?
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Now, excuse me.
From an interpretive standpoint, do you allow a sign?
Okay.
If there's a freestanding sign?
Specifically, the building,
Whichever direction.
yeah, for the beauty shop, okay. The reason I told them they had to go to Boza is because that is not in our ordinance a building like the strip mall.
What's an office park?
It's-
like a medical center.
It's an office building.
What's an office park? Because they got AR, remember that's the reason ARI?
Okay,
ARI couldn't have a separate freestanding sign back there. They had one, and you all told them they can't have that separate freestanding sign. It was right about the time Chris Sigler was coming in when he put his freestanding sign. He couldn't put a freestanding sign in addition to the one on his building because they had the office park sign for the medical center that he was part of.
Right,
But he could if he owned the property.
right, and that's what they did, is they bought
And he
it.
wasn't on the medical center kiosk.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, this building is an office park, they got the ARI building back there, they got this, they got numerous businesses in it, so I mean, you should go put a facade sign on in addition to the freestanding sign. Just like every other.
For the building, but not for each
Well,
individual.
you could put up to, well, you could put one sign of up to 150 square feet, so they together could put a Patriot Nutrition on the front, along with the impressions.
So they had little corner boxes.
Yeah, they could put a sign on the side of the building that also
Oh,
has
yeah.
all the businesses located in there.
I've seen those
advertising.
before.
You know, I have to, it's,
Those corner boxes, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like on the
I
side.
mean, under our ordinance, we've always allowed.
It would have to be
a
one
facade
sign
sign,
one sign with all the
With
businesses.
Yes, if they take a sign like this, let's say, and in each corner, it would have
And
patient
segments.
nutrition, and then the
Mhm.
hairdresser, and down here, they'd have something else, they might have 4 or 5,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
And it'd be a,
And it would be the
Boys-
individual
boys allowed a
businesses
building sign in
responsible.
addition to the freestanding sign, if it's an office park, or they're allowed a freestanding sign if it's more than 100 feet of road frontage, whatever it is, like my office. There
Right.
used to be a freestanding sign in front of it, whenever I bought it in 2014, I took down the one out in front, the freestanding sign.
Mhm.
Just left the one on my building, because I didn't like the way it looked, and didn't want to redo it, so. But normally you can only have a wall sign that is up to 150 square feet, well, 3 square feet per linear frontage of your building. But then if you've got more than 100 square feet of frontage, you're allowed also a freestanding sign. So I think in their case, they've got the office park sign, but just like the medical center, they've got the office park sign, then they've got the medical center, on the medical center, if they had another building, they could put it on the office park sign, and then they could also put it on the building.
Okay, and the other part of this is,
Or the liquor store, the liquor store.
if they're gonna put up a sign that has all the different businesses that is in there, it would have to be the owner of the property
Yeah, they're gonna have to approve it.
would have to
Yeah, they own the building.
get the sign permit.
Yeah, but then each business would be responsible for their own segment of that.
That's
sign.
up to the,
That's
that's up to
No.
the,
Oh, you think the owner would?
We don't give a rip.
And they're already charging 2,500 for their little placard on the
Yeah.
sign. That's-
So- that's why I say that for them to put up the sign that they did, they need a variance. Because,
No, if their landlord says only, if their landlord says we'll approve it to put that sign up there, and they don't, if Patriot Nutrition or Tammy Spurlock come along later, they might have to redo their sign because their landlord is saying, we want you to advertise all the businesses in this building on this one sign. They might be out the cost of their sign, but that's between them and their landlord.
but they still can only go with that.
Yeah.
They can go up to 150 square feet based on the 50-foot frontage they've got on that building.
mhm.
And that was, I don't think that one even was close to, I don't know how it was, but it wasn't close to 150 square feet, but, no, I mean, I think if their landlord consents, because the landlord owns the building, and they come in and they say, they can put that sign on this building, it's under 150 square feet, just because it doesn't include the other lessees in that building, that's between the landlord and the lessees. If one of the other lessees raises crap about it and says, hey, why isn't my sign up in the front of the building, then somebody had to redo a sign to include the other four. You know, that, like I said, that's between the landlord and the tenants. But they're limited to 150 square feet advertising all the businesses in that building, basically,
Mhm.
in my opinion. That's how the ordinance has been applied in the past, basically, is you're allowed to sign on the building, plus your freestanding sign, as long as you meet the 100 feet of road frontage.
So if I correct me wrong, if I'm understanding this correctly, if their sign is under or at 150 square feet, they could put that banner back up,
Not a banner. It's not a banner, it's a sign.
It's
Or
a
sign.
Yeah, it's a sign.
sign. Would it have to be so it doesn't flop in the wind? I don't know how it's attached.
That's the way I felt.
It specifically says it's 3 square feet for every foot of frontage of the building. So they can go up to 150 square feet on that building, on the front of that building, as a sign.
As long as the landlord's in agreement with it.
That's always up to whatever your landlord says. And if they want it to be a banner that's gonna get ripped and slapped against the building and tear it up, that's between the landlord and the tenant.
Don't the same people own both of them
Now, once
buildings?
it gets ripped and it
Yes.
becomes a derelict sign, then they're having to issue another violation for having a derelict sign.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna say, I thought the same people own both them buildings.
Yeah, whatever they build it out of is not really, we don't have any requirements as far
I
as.
guess myself, I didn't know if it had to be within a frame or a banner that was sign that they
No.
had hanging up.
No, they can make it a banner material and hang it up there, but like I said, that's.
But it has to be, according to our ordinance, it has to be flat attached.
Right.
It can't be,
Waving in the wind.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let me, just for clarification, if the landlord has to approve of it, they're the ones that have to get the permit.
It's their property, yeah, they have to.
They have to get the permit.
Yes.
The beauty shop can't just throw it up there. They
So
can't,
would come in and get it.
technically, they can't come and get the permit.
So the beauty shop has the permit and they are planning to fill it out, but they really shouldn't.
No,
They can't.
that's not, I think that's what we're.
I know.
Yeah, the landlord, landowner's the one that can. I guess if they have a lease, and they can present a lease that says that they have the right to apply for any signage and stuff, because I have put that into leases before.
Yeah.
If you've got a 30 or 40-year lease on a piece of property where a
So-
landlord.
Yeah, but I,
A landlord could be in California or.
Yeah,
I've got
exactly.
clients here that have property in Chicago and Florida, and everywhere else, and they're sure said, I'm gonna go to a local zoning meeting, they're gonna sign a consent that
Mhm.
says, I allow this tenant to
Yeah.
apply for this.
Right.
Which often happens, where the lease says that the tenant is responsible for it and can apply for it and sign it.
Okay, so it could be something in the wordage.
That's between the landlord and the tenant again.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's,
That's
yeah,
why people hire lawyers.
so,
okay. That's a good, it's a good thing to think about.
so Todd, you can inform
I have had that conversation with her.
that,
Because we have the same thing happen.
Yeah, but that-
If somebody comes in and asks for rezoning a property, you don't allow the prospective owner to get.
Right.
Right.
rezoned.
exactly,
Unless
that's,
the owner comes in and says, like the golf course.
that's
You know,
what we
I mean,
did.
It has to be the property owner, because what happens if this prospective person gets the property rezoned from commercial to
Mhm.
residential, and then backs out of the deal?
Yeah, but you can explain this to them and to Patriot Nutrition
So they may come together and.
Yeah.
and to the real estate company and
Andrew Spurlock, who has another beauty shop.
whoever is in that building.
But it's just a matter if they inquire into it, he doesn't have to solicit these
No.
companies. Correct.
Yeah, but since I'm already in communication with one, I will tell her to tell the others.
Yeah.
Well-
If you guys get.
The reason I say Patriot Nutrition is because we had them take their sign down in the front.
Mhm.
No, I don't think they were aware of that.
I didn't
I didn't think.
I think it's a moot point anyway.
What's that?
Yeah, it'll be
The
good.
landlord's gonna put anything on front of the building.
But then that's the building owners.
That's exactly, that's the
Probably,
building
yeah.
owner prerogative.
That's their prerogative.
So I think it's all a moot point about the whole huge law.
So is there a way though that we can, so just, is
Have
there
a
a way
billboard
that
guy
we
and-
let them put some kind of peg in the ground for advertising?
Well, I mean, seriously, that's the only option we have at this point. Would that,
They can do a 30-day.
A 30-day temporary
No,
that,
which doesn't help the million visitors that come to our town, but I understand that. I'm not laughing at that, I'm laughing at the fact that it's like, ah, that's what I'm laughing at, it's like, ah.
yeah, but if they get the building
Right.
owner to say,
Yes. Then you can advertise much better,
then they can
much better.
put it up within that 30 days.
Yep, they have to get the building owner to say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So-
next trick.
Yeah.
or they may have to take a vehicle and get it wrapped and put it out there. Brian was saying, you know, that's
Right,
the whole creative,
right, or a person out there.
yeah, marketing aspect. You know, if they're serious about it, they have to try something.
Drinking and coming here. Yeah, that's gotta be pretty cool too. We need to make sure that's good.
Okay, do we have anything else?
No, sir,
Did everyone get the minutes signed?
they're over here.
Yes.
Oh,
There's nothing about the golf course, is there?
no,
Nothing.
no,
Nope.
no.
Have you heard anything about the Kirstein's, or it's not Kirstein's, but the apartments that might be going up?
That is Kirstein's.
I know, I thought it was a subsidiary, I don't know. Is it Kirstein's? Have you heard anything about
It's-
the progress of that?
It's up from Kirstein's, it's Kirstein's,
Right, it's like an umbrella.
right.
Have you heard anything about the progress of that?
They had put out requests for bids on doing different portions of it.
Okay, So that's where they are, they're in request.
Right,
dates.
and in fact, their deadline for submitting the bids was sometime this month.
Okay,
They have a home permit yet.
okay, that's what I was wondering, if
So-
there was any.
That's all we've heard.
I don't know, I've seen it just like you've seen it,
Probably what they're doing.
Yeah.
just a bunch of dirt, that's all there's no footers being dug, obviously, so.
Have they talked to you, Russ?
No, because they'll need a sewer and water construction
I was
permit.
gonna say, you guys, they're
So
gonna.
nothing like that has even been talked about, or at least come to my office anyways.
Mhm. Okay,
Okay. Thank you for listening to me, I appreciate it.
you're welcome.
Not easy. Oh, I'm sorry, was that out loud?
Anything else?
Everybody,
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned.
That was out there on the internet.